In 2026, this movement is going to go up a level. We're going to be moving forward with parallel infrastructure frameworks and how we can apply the Mondragon model to our specific context. However, before we do this, I just want to clarify something very important. Co-op evolution and this cooperative movement that we're building is not necessarily the destination. If you're one of the 30,000 people following this movement, it's likely that you believe in a better world, just like I do. We may not know exactly what that looks like yet, but we know what we don't want. More of the same. Concentration of power and wealth into the hands of a few at the expense of the many. Destruction, lack of empathy for humanity, division, all of that stuff has to go. But before we try to take on the world, we have to get our house in order. And that means dealing with the biggest issue, obstructing that goal. This movement was not born out of ideology, it was born out of strategy. I didn't even know what a cooperative was over a year ago. So why did I choose co-ops? I knew that I couldn't convince anybody that a better world was possible unless I could answer these questions. How am I going to pay my rent? What am I going to do about rising energy bills? How am I going to pay my mortgage? If your solution for a better world doesn't solve those problems today, then it only leads to more instability, not more security. And as humans, we're naturally risk averse. We're only going to gravitate towards what offers us more stability and security. That's why I started doing some research into economic solutions. And time again, whenever I saw a group of people bring themselves out of poverty in extreme conditions, it was through building community wealth. And more often than not, it was through cooperatives. Cooperatives offer us a proven model on how to fix housing, retail, education, manufacturing, energy, every single category you can think of. There are thousands of case studies. Years ago, I read a book by one of the world's leading thinkers on strategy. It's called Good Strategy, Bad Strategy. My biggest takeaway from that book is that you have to identify a core challenge that is blocking everything else. Once you identify that, you devise a singular goal to solve that single problem. The tactics then reveal themselves. You put all of your energy into solving that one problem through that one goal until it's resolved, and only then do you move on to the next one. For me, the goal was simple. Reduce or eliminate the pressure of the cost of living so that people have the time and freedom to imagine and work towards a better world. So if you're wondering why this movement is so focused on work and economics, that's why. And if you're wondering why I chose cooperatives, that's why. Cooperatives are owned 100% by the people that depend on them, and they're run democratically by the people who depend on them. That gives us a vehicle for ownership and control over the systems that determine our outcomes. And from that point, we can evolve the model to shape the world that we want to be a part of. So remember, co-op evolution is the bridge, not necessarily the destination. If you believe in this mission, please consider joining my mailing list linked on my profile page. Right now, we have 29,000 people following this account, but only 800 people in the email list. That's far too much control in the hands of social platforms. They now, at this point, own this movement and control what you see. Honestly, there are no guarantees as to what could happen to this account in the future. And so that's why I've created an email list. So whatever happens to this account, I can always reach out to you and it doesn't stop the progress. That's what this entire movement is about. It's about ownership, it's about accountability, and it's about sovereignty.